be you. The best you is the free you. And that's what my mom always says too. The best version of you that you can be is you when you're free. If you are not putting yourself first and doing the best things that you need to do for you, you can't be good for anybody else.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosemarie Miller and welcome to Then They Rose. Here we'll be exploring the inspiring journeys of how celebrities, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders overcame adversity and rose to greatness. Today we have the pleasure of hearing from Choyce Brown. Choyce is the daughter of actress and social media personality Tabitha Brown. Known for her graceful style and modeling career, Choyce has carved out her own space in the public eye. As a rising star in the fashion industry, she often collaborates with her mother on projects, sharing her insights on self-care and positivity. Choyce is also an advocate for mental health, using her platform to encourage others to embrace self-love and inner beauty. Stay tuned to learn more about Choyce Brown. Choyce Brown.
Yes.
Thank you for joining Then They Rose.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. No complaints.
That's good.
First of all, can we get into the hair?
Get into it. It's really doing something today.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. The
Yes.
brown on brown, that's like the summer look.
Yes.
That's it.
It's my everyday look. Like, I've been rocking this for a minute now, but summer it really eats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Choyce,
Yeah.
I want to learn a little bit about you. Can you
Okay.
take me back to your early childhood? Who was little Choyce?
Okay. Little Choyce. She was a lot different than I am now, but I feel like I'm going back to her every day. She was a dreamer. She was ambitious. She loved to perform. She loved to sing, do stuff in front of everybody. She just loved attention, and she was like fearless. That's like the one thing that I remember about me when I was really, really little. Like, I wasn't afraid of anything. Trying to get back to that for sure.
I think we all are in a way. Yeah.
Of course.
So you liked attention. Did you always kind of see yourself going the entertainment route, or did you think, okay, maybe I'm going to be a doctor, lawyer?
Well, okay, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a singer. Like, I thought I was going to be Beyonce. Like, that was it. Like, I'm going to be Beyonce. I can sing. I'm gonna learn how to dance. I still ain't learned. But I thought I was going to be Beyonce. Like, that was my dream. And then when I got a little bit older, maybe like around middle school, I started playing basketball.
Yeah.
So then there was like a small era where I thought I was going to be like a basketball player, but that ended very quickly because I was like, no, I need to do something that's like, I want to be famous for something that's like more like entertainment, like singing or modeling or whatever. So I always kind of knew, but throughout my childhood, there was like a little bit of different interests that I had. Yeah.
So you knew that, like, okay, I'm going to be famous one day. You always knew that that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, I always had a feeling. And my mom's an actress. So growing up, I watched her do so much. So I just knew like I was going to be doing something like how she was.
Yeah.
So
how did your mom inspire you? Did she kind of push you in that direction? Or did she push you to go, the more corporate route?
Never corporate, never. My mom is an artist. She's a big creative. So anything that I've ever taken interest in, like artistically, she's pushed me to do that. Yeah. When I wanted to do modeling, she was all for that. Acting, she's all for that. She's never really like pushed me to have any like corporate job because I've never like expressed that interest to her.
Yeah.
But my mom is an artist, so that's always what she's like wanted for me as well.
How is watching your mom just like blow up in the public eye? How has that impacted your life?
It's been amazing. I kind of have always known that my mom was gonna like do something and she was gonna be big. I've always thought my mom was big, like even when she wasn't and she was just like a working, struggling actress. When I was a child, I would be like, my mom's famous. My mom is cool. I would be at school in the computer lounge and I'll be like typing out my mom's name and showing it to my classmates like, look, this is my mom. Like, she comes up on Google. Like, I've always thought my mom was like the coolest. So to see her now is like, it's amazing, but it's almost like I knew. Like, of course you're amazing. Of course you're big, because that's what I've always thought she was.
But like, what is it like? Because she's everybody's mom, right? What's that like? Like, my mom is everybody's mom right now.
Right. It doesn't feel weird or anything. Sometimes it's kind of like, no, not too much. No, that's my mama. But for the most part, I think it's beautiful, and it's amazing that like everybody gets to experience the greatness that I've experienced with her.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that people enjoy her the way that I do.
Well, Choice, take me back. So you basketball's not it. You know that that's not it.
Yes.
What's next?
So after basketball wasn't a thing, maybe a year or two later, that's when I was like, okay, I think I want to be like a model. Like, I think I want to be a supermodel. So that was probably like my senior year of high school. I went completely vegan. This was around the time when like the beauty standard was like models need to be skinny and tall. So that's what I thought I had to do. I lost a lot of weight from being vegan, and I was like running track. So like I was skinny, I was tiny, and I was ready. Like I knew as soon as I graduated that I was going to be like modeling. So that's kind of like what I just dove into.
Did you have a lot of success with modeling, or what was that world like?
Honestly, when I first started, there wasn't. It was slow, just like anything else is. I thought that I was gonna like get into it real quick because I was like, okay, well, I'm skinny and like I'm healthy, like, and I'm pretty. Like, why is nothing happening? But then I realized that it just doesn't work overnight like that. And it was really TikTok and Twitter from where I started to like blow up when I managed like my social media presence, and I started to get a little bit bigger on that. That's when things like started rolling. But it wasn't just for me doing like these little small modeling gigs and stuff that I thought were gonna take me there. It was deeper than that. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to help me with my social media.
Girl, I got you. I got you.
Well, do you think you being a Black woman played a part at all about, why it was so slow for things to get going with modeling?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, as a Black woman, everything, we have to work a little bit harder. But at the same time, I think it was also an advantage for me because the time period that it was, that's when like Black beauty was like in. Like, it's always in, but that's when it was like kind of like a thing, and people weren't really, it wasn't cool to be ignorant no more. So it was like I took advantage of that era, and I was like, okay, like I'm about to really push. Like, y'all are going to see my face now, if more than any other time. So yeah.
Okay, so tell me about some of the challenges you faced in your life.
When I was younger, the bullying, I went to schools that were not predominantly Black. At first, when we came out here, because I'm originally from North Carolina, so when we moved out here, I was 3, and we lived in like Baldwin Hills area, LA. So there was a lot of Black kids over there. But then we moved to the Valley when I was like 8 or 9, and that was like a whole different world for me. A lot of white kids, Hispanic, just not a lot of Black kids. I was usually the only Black girl in my class, so that was like a lot for me. The bullying just it wasn't fun, especially because I just felt so isolated. I had nowhere to run, and for me it was kind of like embarrassing because like nobody wants to be bullied. So I didn't really go home and like tell my parents like this is happening to me, or like the kids are saying this. They would pick me up from school and they'll be like, Choyce, how was your day? And I'll be like, good. Like I would just kind of keep it to myself because in a way like I was like ashamed, and I didn't want like anybody to feel bad for me. I just wanted to like deal with it on my own, which when I think back on it, I wish that like I would have expressed that to my parents so that they could have like taken me out of those situations, but I just never did. So that was something in my childhood that was like really big for me. But
That's
yeah.
interesting. I'm starting to see a trend throughout my interviews where the women, they were bullied in their childhood, and the guys, they were the cool kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
Girl, I know what it's about.
You do?
I feel like it's always been like that though. Like my biggest bully when I was in middle school was a Black boy. So, and he was darker than me, and he was more Black than I was, like so, and he would walk around and call me Blackie and all the names in the book, and it was just like, now when I think back on it, I'm like, now what, he had no business calling me all of these names. We both Black, and you darker than me. But it's because he was a boy. That privilege just of being a boy, it they get to slide a little bit, especially if they're funny. Oh, okay, he's funny. Okay, cool. He plays sports. Like, it's different.
Don't
For
let him
girls,
have a
it's
little
hard.
height to him.
Don't let him be tall. Don't let him be tall. Don't let him have a cute little haircut. Everything is out the window. The girls like him. They got a crush on him. But for girls, it's a little bit different. I was kind of awkward. You know, I'm skinny and tall. I was always the tallest in my classes. Skinny, tall. I have this weird curly hair. I'm dark. Like, they like, now what is this? No. Like, I couldn't win. So.
See, but that's why you have personality.
Yeah.
I'm convinced because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm from Mississippi.
Oh,
so imagine
you're
me.
from the country.
I'm from the country, yes.
Yes.
Black, I was buck tooth, like, girl.
Yeah,
they ate me up.
Girl, they was eating me up. And when I look back at my pictures, because I used to think I was ugly. Like, I used to think, like, maybe I am just ugly. Like, maybe I'm just ugly. But when I look back at my pictures, I'm like, you were so cute. Like, I wish, like, I could go back and be like, girl, like, you're not ugly. Like, you're so cute. Don't listen to them. But, yeah.
Oh, trust me. I wish I could go back and say the same thing to myself. Like, I remember being in the school bathroom. You know how you have all the little plaits in your head with the bobs and the barrettes? So that's how my mom would send me to school. Cute. Just like you. Went to a white school. Felt hideous. Every morning in the bathroom, I would be in there taking out all my mama's hard work, trying to comb it. You did it too.
Yes, I did it too.
But I would be in there taking out all my little bobs, just trying to fit in with the white girls.
I was doing the same thing. My mom would have me She would have me with a slick bag, half up, half down with the braid, a little bow. I come home, my hair is not like that anymore. It's down. I tried to straighten it out. I used to like look up on YouTube like how to have straight hair, like how to have blue eyes, how to not be dark, how to lighten your skin. Like, I used to look up all the stuff because I just wanted to fit in, and none of it ever worked. None of it, and I'm glad it didn't.
I did the same thing. Yes. I remember ordering the soap bars, trying to lighten my skin, trying to figure that out.
And it's so sad when I think about that, because now I'm like, I want to be darker. Like, let me get out and tan. let me tan so I can be extra bronzy brown. Like, I love it now. And I wish that I was like that before, because I was darker when I was a child, and it was so beautiful. When I look at my pictures, I'm like, ugh, gorgeous. Like, I need to get out in the sun more. I need that skin tone back. But it's like, when I was younger, I hated it.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, growth.
Right.
That's what that is.
Thank God for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you learn to start loving yourself, loving your true self?
I think after I graduated, and just like the separation from like my classmates and like actually getting into the real world, I think that's what did it. And then just like different role models that I had in modeling. I had a lot of girls that I looked up to that were brown and they were black like me. Like, I just saw beauty in them, and then I started to see it in myself. I literally just needed to get away from the toxicness of like my classmates and the people that I was around. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm cute. Yeah.
You were free to be fully Choyce.
Exactly.
And speaking of, I'm going to go there.
Where?
You are a part of the LGBTQ community. Yes. Say hey.
Yes.
Okay. Like, what was that like? Was this always a thing growing up? Did you know it? Did you hide it?
Yes. I have been gay since I was like 6. I guess since I knew that I could like people. My first crush was a girl. My first relationship was a girl. I think that I just kind of wanted to like explore a little bit, and I also wanted to like please my family and like wanted to just be normal, because it was something that like I pushed away, especially in middle school with like the bullying and stuff. Like, it's one thing for me to be black and tall and funny looking, and you're gonna be gay on top of it. Absolutely not. We're gonna like boys. So I kind of like compartmentalized that. But when I got to high school, I was like, okay, like, I like this girl. I think I want to try. Like, so I had my first girlfriend, and it was hidden. Like, it was a secret. And I didn't tell my parents about it. And then my mom just guessed it. Like, she just had a feeling. And one day she was like, are you and so, are y'all dating? And I was like, kind of. Like, I don't know. And so that was like a whole thing. And my parents, like, we kind of struggled with it a little bit, because it was something that was being hidden. So they didn't want me to be like sneaky, and they didn't want us to have like the type of relationship where I wasn't telling them things or like, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was kind of shaky at first, but as I got into like my adult years and stuff, it's great now, and I'm very open about it now.
Yeah.
And I'm able to, talk about it freely. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So aside from your immediate family, I know you said your people are from North Carolina. How are they taking it?
They're fine. Everybody has been fine so far. I mean, the people that I guess know, I haven't come out. Like, I didn't do the whole like everybody gather around and I want to tell you guys something. I kind of am just like living. So I post my girlfriend. If you happen to see it, surprise. If you haven't seen it, then oh well. Like, it's, I don't really want to make it like a thing, because it doesn't have to be a thing. It's normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be dramatic.
Choyce, I want you to talk to my nephew for a minute. I have a nephew, and I'm sorry in advance for putting your business out there, but he came out the closet a few years ago, and he's really been struggling.
Really?
I mean, the lowest you can go, struggling. And as I told you, I'm from Mississippi.
Yes,
I'm from the South.
it's different.
So you can imagine what he's going through.
Yeah.
I don't have the words. I don't know what to tell him.
Yeah.
But I wish I did, and I feel like you do.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, if somebody were to tell me something at the time when like I was kind of ashamed of it, it would, honestly, I don't even know. I would just say, be you. The best you is the free you. And that's what my mom always says too. The best version of you that you can be is you when you're free. If you are not putting yourself first and doing the best things that you need to do for you, you can't be good for anybody else. I know he probably thinks that he's not pleasing the family and the people that are around him, but I'm sure that he will please people more if he just is himself, because he can't pour into himself fully if he's hiding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The best version of you is the free you. And even if that means that you have to let go of your family, you know what I'm saying? Let go of those people that don't support you, you will be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes family is not who you're related to, it's who you come into contact with. Friends that become family, people that you just meet in life, that is your family. You know what I mean? People that love you and support you genuinely. Do not be afraid to let them people go.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening to her.
I hope you're listening too.
Yeah. Don't
I
be
love
afraid.
you.
Oh.
You are loved.
Oh,
and just be you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
of
so much.
course. Yes.
So, now I gotta recalibrate myself. The choice throughout your life. Okay, your mom. Let's go back to mama. Mama's a really big deal in the public eye, and that was always your dream as well. And mom's a really big deal. How does that make you feel? Like, okay, mom, you're the Tabitha Brown.
Yeah, I feel like it's so cool. Somebody asked me about this the other day. They asked me like how I feel, like do I ever just feel like overpowered, or like just how do I feel about it? And I honestly, like, I've never really felt like I was like in her shadow at all.
Yeah.
But even if I was in her shadow, I feel like she's a great shadow to be in, because she's just so positive. She has a great rep. Like, she's that girl. There's nothing that she's done that I'm embarrassed of. Yeah. There's nothing that I'm like, ugh, like my mama. No, like, besides when she be on the internet talking nasty about my daddy. That'd be kidding. That'd be
not
killing.
Chance.
Right, not Team Chance. But besides that, she's amazing. Like, I'm glad that when people think of me, they also think of her. I would rather they think of her than something negative, Like, I love it, and she deserves it, and I think our family deserves it, and I think it's a great thing.
It's a blessing to have a mother like that.
It is. Yes, it's the biggest blessing.
Yeah. And so what are some things she's taught you that you feel like you're going to instill into your children someday?
Perseverance and being free. That's the biggest thing. Never giving up, and just being authentic, being yourself, and truth. I think that goes into freedom, but like always just telling the truth. My mom is big on honesty, and I appreciate that, because there's a lot of things that, like, when you're left in the dark about, it's like when you finally find out the truth, it can break you. So my mom has always been pretty honest with me, so there's nothing that has ever happened that I'm like, because my mom warned me. My mom told me about this. My mom was open with me, you know? So those are things that I definitely want to do with my children.
Well, Choyce, we talked a lot about how you've overcome some things in your life. You've
Mm-hmm.
overcome, the bullying from just being yourself, really,
Yes.
and even coming out the closet.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell a little Black girl who's similar to you?
I would tell her, number one, you are beautiful. You are enough. Love your skin. I love your hair. And I would tell her, just be you.
Yeah,
And the best version of you is the real version. That's what I would say.
that's it.
Yeah.
So, what's next for you, Choyce?
What's next for me? I'm hoping to start working a lot more. I'm trying to act more too. I did a movie last year that should be coming out at some point soon, but I want to act more. I just want to just do more. I don't have anything specific, like no limits, like just whatever comes my way, any opportunity, I want to just attack it and do the best that I can. So I'm just open to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. And I look forward to seeing you in this
Thank you.
movie. Well, let's take it back a little bit. You mentioned that TikTok and Instagram, those are the things that really started blowing you up. It wasn't
Yes.
so much the modeling, the standard
Yeah,
modeling as
yeah,
we know
yeah.
it. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so basically social media at the time when like we blew up and when I really blew up, that was during COVID. So social media was everything then because we couldn't go outside. So that was like the time when I really took advantage of social media and just all any app. Okay, so I have Twitter and I have TikTok. TikTok was huge during COVID. Everybody was on there dancing, singing, doing all these trends. So that was the time when it was like, okay, let's really like try to get your face everywhere. So
Yeah.
that's when I started posting. I would just do like little mini shoots in my room and outside near my house. Do my hair, do my makeup, put on something cute, and just take pictures. Just take
Yeah.
pictures and post it. Take pictures and post it. And then at the same time, mommy, she was doing her TikTok videos, so she's getting her following up, and then
Yeah.
I'll do a video with her. We're both getting our followings up. Meanwhile, on Twitter, I'm getting some retweets, like I'm getting some attention. It was consistency. So I had to just keep posting, keep going, even if some posted better than the others,
Yeah.
just keep going. That's what the biggest thing was. And that's when things really started happening during that time. I think right when COVID was starting to lighten up a little bit, I had a good following. And I hadn't done like any professional shoots yet. It's just been like selfies and like pictures that I've taken on my phone. And I got a message from Bonnie Nichols. She's one of my favorite photographers. She was like the first photographer to ever reach out to me and like believe in me.
Yeah.
So she sent me a message and she was like, "You are so beautiful. I would love to do a shoot with you. We're doing a group shoot and we're gonna do like I think it was like a fashion week inspired type of thing. It was really cool and I was so excited. This is my first like professional type of thing. And from that point, it really, really took off. And when I got there, um, a model that was like one of my favorites ever, she was like one of my biggest inspos. I loved her. She was there, so I got to shoot with her. Like it was just that is like the moment that like kind of like really like blew me up because when those pictures were posted, it was like, oh, she's doing it for real now. So now I have other photographers reaching out. Like it was amazing the way that it was all set up. But yeah, shout out to Bonnie because that's my girl. She's literally the first person to ever like believe in me as far as like in the modeling world. She was the first photographer to be like, yeah, come shoot.
So,
and I appreciate that.
do you think 2024 is still a good time to use social media to blow up in your career? Because algorithms, they've changed a lot lately.
Yeah, I think that anytime right now, like social media is huge. It's like the biggest thing. So if you can do something on there that's like different and you can grab some people's attention, then do it. The best time is always now. Like you can do it. But I would say that I feel like the internet is very like congested right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do content. Everybody wants to model. Everybody wants to have followers. Like everybody wants to be big on the internet. So I would say if you're going to do it, yes, opportunity is there, but be different. And the only way that you can be different is if you be yourself. A lot of people are trying to like piggyback on others, be
Mm.
like this. The best way to do it is just to be yourself and do something that's different from what everybody else is doing. If you
Yeah.
do that, I guarantee like you'll blow up, you know.
So, aside from just being yourself, give us some action items. Like, what else can we do to ensure that we have success in our social media journeys?
Consistency was like a big thing, and then just paying attention to like what your audience likes. That was what I had to do, because I would post something that just only I liked, and I
Yeah.
would just be like, why are they not engaging with it? Like, why are you mess with it like the last thing? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, girl, like you have to realize like, okay, this is the type of stuff your audience likes, and this is what you're good at. So if you're not so great at talking videos and doing a lot of like interacting with the camera, then maybe let's stick to a voiceover or something. That's my strong suit. I'm not
Yeah.
the best at like speaking to the camera like, hey y'all, but I can do a mean voiceover, a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally just finding out what your audience likes and like what works best for you, and just don't force it, you know.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, are there any moments where you feel like I need a social media detox? Like,
Oh
this is very
yes.
much, it's your career now,
Hmm.
social media, but you need a break.
Absolutely. Probably like once a month. Like my manager, he knows I do not like to post like that unless it just feels right.
Yeah.
But I do not force anything, and I don't like overdo it with the social media because it can be draining. Yeah, I take a break all the time. If anything, I take a break more than I'm on it. Like when you see
Mm.
me post, that's probably the only time that I'm on there. I'll do a quick little post and then I'm gonna turn my phone. Like I'm logging off.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's not because, you know, I just hate social media. It's just like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, but when you want to get into a lot, then you can. It's always there, but I don't always want it. So
Right. And I'm
yeah.
sure, you have to deal with people in the comments. How have you
Of
learned to
course.
overcome the hate, the bullying, all of that?
Yeah. Actually, I used to like be really bad with it. Like I used to be so sad when people would be mean to me
Yeah.
because I just wasn't really used to it. Like I was used to it from like my classmates and stuff growing up, but I wasn't used to it from like strangers. I'm like, dang, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
hold on. No, wait a minute. But
Mm-hmm.
then I think it's just like over time you have to just build that thick skin and just realize that these people are miserable. Like literally, they don't have anything else better to do but sit in their room and be on their phone and talk bad about other people on the internet. And that's a sad life. Like honestly, I hope that they heal. Like you have to pray for people like that because what's going on? Like, are you
And
okay?
doing it from
You
a fake
know?
account.
Right. An
Yeah.
account with zero posts, zero followers. Like you are looking really crazy actually. And you
Exactly.
need some help. So I really don't worry about it too much because it's like, please, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today,
Thank
Choyce.
you for having me. It's